You're watching ABC KAQY.
Just that they are not seeing a tornado signature, debris signature anymore, visible on radar, which is a good thing for us. That means that tornado has lifted up. But as Sheena was taking a zoomed in look, I was kind of also taking a zoomed out look, because a lot of you may be thinking, oh, after this moves through, we'll be good. The sad thing is we're going to be seeing multiple rounds of this throughout the night. Hopefully it's mostly just strong thunderstorms and no tornadoes. But right now, here's that tornado warning. It's in near Shudrint, passing the I-20 corridor. We also are watching a bunch of flash flood warnings as well. These little green polygons and these white polygons are significant weather advisories, which means there's a strong storm associated with these white polygons. We have a lot going on, and we're also going to continue to see this kind of stuff move through the region. You can see here in southeastern Texas, it's kind of moving slow but surely towards our area. And this is actually in southeastern Texas, the storms that we're seeing now earlier today, and they are now moving through our area. But let's take another zoomed in look kind of at the tornado warned storm. Again, this expires at 6 o'clock. It's most likely right now passing through Shudrint and passing north kind of near the Downsville area, heading towards LA 151 and 145. So just kind of in that area. That's where the polygon kind of stops just after Downsville. But we could see this extended if we continue to see more reports of a tornado on the ground. But as of now, we're still treating it as if it is on the ground, because it was on the ground earlier and caused significant damages near the Jonesboro area. So we're going to treat it as if it's on the ground. So Shudrint, you better be in your safe location now. Downsville, you better be getting to your safe location here soon, and same with Point. I'm going to send it back over to Sheena for more updates.
All right, thank you for that, Margot. If you're just tuning in now, we are in our KAQY newscast, but we're staying on KNOE because we are continuing to track the tornado warning that is now over Lincoln Parish, headed across the I-20 corridor and working its way up to the north and east towards the Downsville area. So we're going to stay with the severe weather coverage as long as the tornado warning is live. It's in effect until 6 p.m., so that's the next 28 minutes, but we are starting to see, some of that rotation try to broaden out. As Margot mentioned, they're not seeing a tornado debris signature, which means they're not seeing that debris lofted in the air, which is good news, because it maybe means that we don't have that surface connection anymore. We don't have that tornado on the ground. But it has a history of producing a tornado and reaching the ground, causing some damage, trees down all over Jackson Parish. So keep that in mind. It is still packing a punch, and it could still be on the ground. It's currently right on top of Shudrint, crossing the I-20 corridor, headed right towards Downsville area. So if you live in Downsville, now's the time. You've got to be in that safe place. If you live anywhere between Shudrint and Downsville, you have got to be in that safe place. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Again, we're getting right there into the radar gap of the system. That's the purples that you are seeing here. And it looks like the area of rotation may be just between Shudrint and Tremont now. So it looks like it's actually coming kind of close to the Tremont area. So near Pleasant Grove. Again, this right here, that is that area of rotation. So Tremont, still make sure that you are in your safe spot. Frosttown, you still need to be in your safe spot as well. I believe Frosttown is kind of right there on the edge of that tornado polygon, but it may be taking a little bit more of a turn to the north and east. So if it does, it's going right in between Shudrint and Tremont area. It's going to be headed across East Sibley Road. It's going to be headed close to Abe Benton Road as well, and west of Frosttown up towards the Downsville area as it works its way towards Union Parish. Margot, anything?
Nothing new has been talked about in chat. We're still watching kind of the same system moving through. Still the only tornado warned storm in our area. Again, it's passing through Shudrint and the Tremont area, passing over I-20, and it'll move north and east. So here's kind of like here's kind of some of the places that it'll pass. It'll pass kind of near where Sheena was talking, East Sibley Road. We have Burks Road, there's Downsville, Whitehead Road, Union Road would be up next after the Downsville area. We have Frosttown just kind of just north and east of the Shudrint area, the I-20 area. But again, we also have LA 151. So if you're located in any of those areas, this tornado has already touched the ground near the Jonesboro area. Luckily, they're not seeing a tornado debris signature with it right now, but we're still going to treat it as if it's on the ground because it has been on the ground and caused significant damages in some of the locations already. Now again, if you're located near East Sibley Road, LA 151, Sibley Road, Emory Road, LA 145, the Downsville area, and Whitehead Road, you need to be getting in your safe locations now. It is very important that you do so because we have seen a tornado with this storm already. Now let's take a zoomed out look just again to see what we're dealing with at the moment. We still have this tornado warned storm. It's warned until 6 o'clock this evening, which is in another 25 minutes that we see this still warned. Behind it, we have this flash flood warning as well, and that's associated with that storm that passed through. We saw a lot of lightning. We're seeing a lot of rain with it, which is leading to flash flooding. So I'm going to send it back over to Sheena, who has a few more updates for us.
All right, good job, Margot. Again, we're tracking that area of rotation that is near Walker Road area, Pleasant Grove Road area. It's between Tremont as well as Shudrint, crossing the I-20 corridor off to the north and east. So again, this is going to be headed towards the Downsville area. So you have got to stay in your safe spot still. It's going to be crossing Emory Road. It's going to be crossing towards Norris Road, headed up towards East Sibley Road. So it's likely that rotation's probably already crossed the I-20 corridor. This is I-20 right here. That rotation right now is showing that it's south. It's towards Walker Road area, but it's probably a little bit more north. It's probably closer to Emory Road and closer to Norris Road. So just to the north and east of that, you are up next, East Sibley Road. You're up next, Maddox Road. You're also up next, Roach Road. It'll be headed towards you. We also have Louisiana 821 over here, and this one is Louisiana 145. So it should go just to the east of those locations, but it is going to be headed very close to East Sibley Road here very, very soon as it tracks off to the north and the east. So I'm going to zoom back out. Let's get another big picture here of this system that we have. All right, they're still holding on to this this tornado warning. Did they extend it? Is that what it is?
They cancel it for Jackson Parish, okay, but they're continuing it for Lincoln
Union,
Parish, or
right?
Union.
Yep. All right, so we have Union Parish now included in this tornado warning. Downsville, you're right there in the middle of this new tornado polygon, and this one is going to be in effect until when, Margot? Is it still 6?
It's still 6 as of now.
All right. All right, so this includes Downsville. It's going to include Smyrna as well. Louisiana 15 along there. You need to be getting in your safe spot right now. Louisiana 151, if you live anywhere along there, you need to be in that safe spot. This is a point is just outside the polygon, but it's going to go to your west. So if you live anywhere close to the Downsville area, if you live east of Darbone, then you need to make sure that you are in that safe spot. Excuse me. So we're going to zoom back out here, and we're going to get a look at where the rotation is currently sitting. Again, it's very close to the I-20 corridor at this time, and so it's going to be moving pretty quickly off to the north. And how fast is the system moving?
It's still moving at 30 miles an hour, Sheena, and it's moving more north than it is east.
Okay,
so it's going to pass the Downsville area.
All right, so this is that area of rotation right here near Shudrint, right in between Shudrint and Tremont, headed north towards Louisiana 145, headed north towards East Sibley Road, headed north towards Downsville. So this now includes Union Parish as well, and as it continues north and east, I mean, they're not seeing the tornado debris signature, but that is a pretty tight rotation. So regardless of if a tornado's on the ground, those winds are strong in that system, and you need to make sure that you're staying in your safe spot. Ruston, you are in the clear. You're on the west side of this rotation. It's moving off to your north and your east. So if you live in the city of Ruston, if you live in Vienna, you're okay. Simsboro, you're good over there. You're just dealing with some very heavy rain and some frequent lightning. So I did want to poke around and let's see some of the velocity rates that we have associated with it. This is showing some gate-to-gate shear upwards of 83 miles per hour. That can cause some significant damage and kind of cause issues to, you know, some of the trees, especially since this time of year. We're in that time of year where things are dying. A lot of trees may be seeing some weakening with the branches, and so it's not going to take too much of a strong wind gust for that tree branch to come down. All right, Margot, do you have anything for us?
Just that the area of rotation is eastern of Lincoln Parish and is now moved over the I-20 corridor. It's headed towards the Downsville area and will be there in the next 10 minutes. So if you're located in Downsville, get in your safe location now. This thunderstorm It is capable of producing a tornado and has already caused damages and produced a tornado in the Jonesboro area. Now, again, it has passed over the I-20 corridor. It's heading towards Downsville. So let's take a zoomed-in look to see kind of the roads that it will affect within the polygon. So right now, if you are near Smyrna, I think that's how you pronounce it, Smyrna, start getting your safe location as well. There's Williams Road, LA 151, LA 15. There's Downsville Road, Highway 822, Williams Road, Roach Road, Weems Road, Walnut Lane, Goldsmith Road. If I named any of those roads that you live on, or you know somebody that lives on those near the Downsville area, make sure you are getting in your safe location now. This storm is still moving at 30 miles an hour, and it is still warned until 6 o'clock, which means we have another 20 minutes of this storm being tornado warned. But again, it's heading towards the Downsville area. We'll be there in the next 10 minutes, most likely. It's now 8 minutes, and it's traveling at 30 miles an hour, mostly north and a little bit east. So if you're located near the Downsville Road, Arthur McDaniel Road, Smyrna, the city of Smyrna, Walnut Lane, Weems Road, Roach Road, Williams Road, East Sibley Road, Highway 822, Patterson Road, and the Downsville Road again, make sure you're getting in your safe locations now. It's very important. This storm has already produced a tornado in the Jonesboro area and caused significant damage, and we're also having people watch kind of what's going on. We're still seeing a really good velocity signature on this. Luckily, they're not seeing a debris signature, but again, they're watching it closely. I'm going to send it back over to Sheena.
All right, so this is going to be right on top of Downsville within probably the next 5 minutes now, so you've got to stay in your safe spot. This is that velocity couplet that we're seeing now north and east of Shudrint. So Shudrint, you're on the back side of the system now. Farmerville, I don't believe, is included in that tornado polygon. They're just outside of it, but if this were to continue on the track that it is, and if it were to hold together, that couplet, then unfortunately that is the next location besides Downville that it's going to be headed towards. So that's 6:05 p.m. You have about 20 minutes to prepare and to move into your safe spot right now. So unfortunately, as I mentioned, that would be where it could be headed next. But Downsville, it's basically on top of you. Next couple of minutes, it's going to be passing right on over 30 miles per hour off to the north and east. So I'm going to scope this out one more time. Let's zoom in a little bit on where we are seeing some of this tighter rotation. So those that are in the Downsville area know where it is located. So it's just south of Downsville, could be right on top. It's going to be west of Smyrna. It's going to be headed across Louisiana 151. It's right over Williams Road at this time, but it's probably a little bit more north and east. It's probably right in between Williams Road and Louisiana 151. So right in between these two areas, south of Downsville, but Downsville, you have got to be in your safe spot. McDaniel Road, you're next. If it continues more north and east, Highway 822 is right here. All right, so if you live anywhere along that location, you've got to be in your safe place. We're seeing a pretty tight rotation on radar. Even if there is no debris signature, this still could be producing some very strong winds that could be also causing some damage. So we are tracking this system as it moves north and east. Has there been any updates, Margot?
Nothing as of now, but it looks like the area of rotation will cross Route 151 south of Downsville between intersections of 145 and 151 and Deer Park Estates along 151. So that's just an update of kind of where this rotation is. I know some of our debris signatures, are kind of look at our radar is a little delayed sometimes, and sometimes the debris signature is a little bit north of what we're looking at. I'm going to send it back over to Sheena just to kind of look at more updates. Just know that there's also a flash flood warning for Jackson, Lincoln, and Ouachita Union and Wynn parishes, and that's due to all those thunderstorms moving through, dropping vast amounts of rain.
All right, what's that update? Is it the flash flood?
Yes.
Okay. All right, just double checking. I was like, do we have something else going on? All right, so Downsville area, this is crossing right south of you, but you need to be in your safe spot. This is headed towards Louisiana 151. So if you live in that spot, make sure that you are still staying in your safe spot. It's going to be crossing over you very, very soon. This is going to be near Burks Road. It's also going to be near Averett Road, I believe it says. Rocky Ford Lane. It's going to come close to that location as well. So right now it's showing that rotation's just to the south, but it's probably a little bit further north than that. It'll jump here very soon as the next scan will start to update. So I'm going to change this. Let's change the scope. Let's pull it over a little bit further so we can see where that rotation is going to be headed off to next. All right, so this is going to be traveling close to 145 south of Downsville, so 151, and this is 151 corridor that goes just to the west of Smyrna. All right, Walnut Lane is here. We also have Pierce Crawford Road right here, and then we have McDaniel. I believe that says McDaniel Road right here. Okay, so these are the next locations. If you hear your lane, your road, your street, whatever it is on that we're calling out, make sure that you are still in that safe spot, lowest, most interior portion of your home, away from the outside windows, away from any outside walls, and make sure that you're putting extra layers of protection between you and the outside. That means blankets, mattresses. If the kids play any of the Little League games, football, t-ball, make them put the helmets on, because that is the one thing that you want to make sure is protected whenever a tornado is passing over. You want to make sure that your head is protected. You want to get down, and as this passes over, let it completely move on out before you try to get out and investigate. There's going to be some torrential rainfall following this system. Visibilities will be extremely limited. It's also a very electrical system. We have just frequent lightning left to right. Some of that is cloud to ground lightning, so you need to take that into account. This is a dangerous system. So we're still tracking the tornado warning that is moving just to the south of the Downsville area across Louisiana 151, headed up towards Arthur McDaniel Road next. And if this were to continue holding together this area of tight rotation, it could get extended further north into Union Parish. That would include the Farmerville area. So I'm going to zoom back out just so that you can see where I'm talking about. So this is that area of rotation right now, and that is near the Downsville area, but just to the north of Downsville is where we have Farmerville. Unfortunately, that was the area that was hit back in November by the EF3 tornado. So this is south of there. This is in that northeast corner of Lincoln Parish. It's going to be headed across Louisiana 151. So we'll be watching it as it tracks its way into Union Parish. Here's Monroe. Here's Ruston. It's kind of right in between these two. Shudrin's in the clear now as it's a little bit further north and east over that Downsville area. So there's the latest scan. It looks like it has jumped right on over into Union Parish. So I'm going to zoom back in just so we can get another look here at this system. I already had it on zoom in. All right, here we go. And this is south of Louisiana 15, all right, just east, very near the Downsville area. So Smyrna, you need to make sure that you are still in that safe spot. That rotation's kind of right in between you two. Arthur McDaniel Road, as I was mentioning, this is basically on top of you at this time. Walnut Lane as well, working its way right on top of you, moving north and east. Margot, do we have updates?
Nothing as of yet, but I'm going to let you take a look at something near Calhoun, but I was just going to take a zoomed out look, kind of the bigger picture. So if we'll throw it over here to me, not only are we seeing this tornado warning system, but we're also seeing a lot of torrential downpour associated with these storms. You can see where these green polygons are across the western portion of the arc limit, and that's all of that flooding. That's flooding right there, and oh, it looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning. That's right here, this yellow polygon that just popped up. That is due to all this storm system that is moving through the area, but we still have that tornado warning system that is passing through the rest of Lincoln Parish into Union Parish. But again, not only are we seeing the chance for tornadoes, but we're also seeing the chance for flooding, which is also very, very dangerous. And so you need to make sure you are staying home, staying in the most inner location of your homes, especially if you're in the Downsville area, kind of near the Farmerville area, near LA 15, near LA 145, and other locations like that. But again, not only are we expecting tornadoes, we're expecting flooding, even potentially hail and winds up to 75 miles an hour. So even if you don't see a tornado, you could see damaging winds that could cause damage to your home or to any of your belongings. Now again, we are still watching this tornado warning storm. It expires at 6 o'clock. We have another 12 minutes of this warning storm. It right now is not on the ground. We're not seeing a tornado debris signature, but it has a history of being on the ground. We saw it cause a little bit of destruction in the Jonesboro area and it's actually heading from Downsville towards Farmerville, and Farmerville, again, like Sheena pointed out, has already seen a good amount of damage from that EF2 tornado back in November, closer to Thanksgiving. Again, we're continuing to watch everything that's moving through, but again, we're watching that tornado warning, we're watching the severe thunderstorm warning, we're watching the flood warnings and advisories. We've got a lot going on, and let me just take an even farther zoomed out look.
Real quick, Margo, just want to update that since the storms have started near Jonesboro, they've received over 5 inches of rain along Highway 4, and so that's east of Jonesboro, but 5 inches of rain. This is what we're talking about. These storms are training over the same spots, and we probably have similar areas that are dealing with these heavy rainfall amounts. And we also mentioned that these aren't the only round of storms that are moving through tonight. We're still expecting another round to arrive much later on tonight, a little bit closer to that cold front. So that's going to bring in even more rain. We are watching that area of rotation that is basically now to the east of Downsville, kind of very near that Smyrna area. And it will be heading its way up into Union Parish, but National Weather Service of Shreveport did go ahead and extend as a severe thunderstorm warning across parts of Union Parish and even into, I think it does include all of Ouachita Parish as well, or most of Ouachita Parish as well. So that means that we have this very heavy torrential rainfall, we have the frequent lightning, we also have the super strong winds in excess of 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour as it's tracking its way east. So this is that area of rotation that we have with the tornado warned storm still in effect until, was it 6:15, Margo?
Yes, it is.
All right, 6:15, moving north and east at about 30 miles per hour between Smyrna and Downsville, headed northeast towards Louisiana 15. So if you live in those locations, make sure that you are still in your safe spot. I'll zoom in just a little bit closer here so that you can get another view of this system and kind of where, you know, these roads are located, where this rotation's crossing over. So this is going to be headed towards McCrary Road. All right, this will be west of Williams Colony Road. And if it does cross Louisiana 15, then it could head towards that McCrary Road area. And it looks like it'll go just south of the Hamilton Road area. Margo, anything?
Nothing right now. They're just still watching the area of rotation near the Downsville area. And we're continuing, they're monitoring the severe thunderstorm warning that's in the yellow polygon kind of out here. Let me zoom out, sorry. Was not prepared for you to throw to me. So yes, the yellow polygon right here, that's that severe thunderstorm warning. We also have that tornado warning still. It luckily still does not have a tornado debris signature with it, so that means there's no tornado on the ground. But again, it has a history of being a tornado on the ground. We also are watching this flash flood warning because a lot of the storms that have passed through, as Sheena mentioned before, since these storms started, Jonesboro has seen over 5 inches of rainfall, and they've already seen damages from that tornado. There's just a lot going on in all of these areas. We're still seeing this tornado warning until 6, and we're still seeing this severe thunderstorm warning. It's in pretty much all of Ouachita Parish, and we're going to be seeing multiple strong severe storms roll through the area as we head further into the evening. I just want to take a look kind of at what temperatures are at the moment, because a lot of the times with temperatures so warm, this is going to help fuel those storms. So right now, Monroe, we're seeing 76, Cholula is seeing 76, excuse me, but El Dorado, Ruston, 68, 69. So as these storms pass through, they're going to cool off some of these areas with the rain that they are producing, which is going to be beneficial for us as we head further into tonight. So again, reminder, as the temperatures go down, we're going to see less and less. I'm going to throw it over to Sheena. She has some new updates for us.
All right, there's about to be a downstream tornado warning that includes more of Union Parish and also includes Union County. So this is this tornado warning right here. They're going to extend it a little bit further off to the north and east. Also watching a little bit of a kink in the line that is near the Calhoun area. That is not tornado warned at the moment, but we'll watch it. We are watching the one that is near the Downsville area. So let me zoom on out so you can get a better picture of this system and the one that is moving off to the north and east close to the Downsville area. So it looks like it may go just to the east of Farmerville, but Marion, you are included in that tornado warning. So we're going to zoom back in and kind of get a closer look at some of these areas that are a little bit further north. So it looks like Farmerville, you're kind of right on the line. You're on the line of the tornado polygon, and again, this is going to be moving north and east. So this is crossing Louisiana 15 down to the south, and then it's going to work its way towards Louisiana 2 and also Louisiana 8 to 8 as it moves off to the north. Zoom back out just a little bit so you can see the areas in Union County. Quigley, Delutre, I believe that's how you say that, maybe. All right, that is also located in that tornado polygon, and then the far eastern sliver of Union County is also in that tornado warning. So that is east of Lapel. All right, so if you live in these locations, you need to be getting into that tornado safe place now. The area of rotation is still closer to the Downsville and Smyrna area, and we're keeping a close eye, tracking that system as it moves off to the north and the east. So zoom back in. We're going to go down here to this area of rotation. We're going to pull up the velocity rate so you can see where that rotation is sitting at the moment. All right. So here's where it is, right there. That little area, that couplet that we're seeing that is north and east of Downsville, that's where that is located. Margot has some times for the next cities that could be seeing this rotation move over.
So this tornado warning that they downstreamed is lasting until 7 p.m., so you have us for another hour. I know that a lot of people don't want to see us for another hour, but we're going to stay on as long as there's a tornado warning in our viewing area. So if you're located in Marion, it's going to be there at 6:27. Right now it's currently 5:55, so make sure you're getting to your safe location now. Do not walk, kind of get there quite quickly. It's better to be there right now rather than later. You don't want to be running to your safe location as the storm is passing over. After that, we have Loco. It's at 6:37, so after 10 minutes after Marion, we have, this is Felsenthal. Thank you, Sheena. Felsenthal, you'll be at 6:50. This is just 10 minutes before that warning is up. White, you're after that, and Robinson, you're right after that, and then it heads into Crossett. So if you're located in any of those locations, you're going to need to start getting into your safe locations soon. If you're located in between some of these locations, like if you're locating in between Marion and Robinson or Marion and Loco, you need to start kind of getting ready to get there as well. I know that this doesn't show all the cities that are in between Downsville and Marion and Crossett, but I know there's a lot out there. So make sure you're listening carefully. If you know, hey, like my aunt's house is near Marion, in between Marion and Crossett, make sure you let her know, say, hey, there's a tornado warned storm heading your way, and this is lasting until 7 p.m. The storm is moving at 40 miles an hour north and east, and this storm has already produced a tornado earlier this evening, closer to 5 o'clock. We've been on here for about 2 hours now, so I'm going to throw it back over to Sheena with some updates, but that's just a little bit of the updates for cities that will be affected soon.
All right, good job, Margot. I appreciate that. South of Farmerville, that's where we have this area of rotations. Also now north and east of Downsville. Downsville, you're still getting some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, probably some very gusty winds still as well, but the rotation that we're seeing on radar is now to your north and your east. It has crossed Louisiana 15, it's close to Island Man Road, it's close to Cart Road as well, and then it's close to Ruggles Buff Road, south of a four-way loop. So if you live in any of these areas that I just mentioned, you need to be staying in your safe spot as this is tracking off to the north and east. It's going to be headed towards Louisiana 2. All right, it's headed towards Louisiana 828 as well. So it looks like it should go just to the south and the east of Farmerville, but Farmerville, you are included, or you're kind of right there on the edge of that polygon. So just be on your guard and watch the system. Again, it is going to be just here south and east. So four-way loop, it's going to be headed over next. We're going to continue to watch this system, but I did want to point out, some of the heavy rain that we have been seeing across the area. We've seen 3.4 inches down towards Wynn Parish. We've seen 5 inches over parts of Jonesboro, and a lot of these thunderstorms are still training over the same spots. We have a lot going on here, right? We have severe thunderstorm warning stretching across Union Parish all the way into Ouachita, and I see the tower cam to my right, and I mean the lightning's just going everywhere. So you want to make sure that you're staying inside as these are tracking very slowly off to the east, and again producing this torrential heavy rainfall. We also have a special weather statement for the southern end of this system, and we have the flash flood warning. So again, as mentioned, a lot is happening here with these storms as they are currently tracking their way off to the east. Zoom out just a little bit further to give you another bigger picture. We still have some thunderstorms that are developing back off to the west in parts of East Texas. These are a little bit more isolated in nature. These are going to be the ones that are a little bit closer to that cold front though. Right now, we have very widespread storms moving in on the west side of the region. This could very much so help to limit the severe potential as we go into this evening, especially with conditions beginning to cool down due to a lot of this heavy torrential rain. So right now, we're kind of in the thick of our severe weather threat. Should wind down as we go into the later part of tonight, but we're still tracking the one tornado warning that is in effect until 7 p.m. this evening. So I'm going to go back to that area of rotation so you can see where that is located. Again, that is south and east of Farmerville. It's working its way north and east. And did you say this one was 30 miles per hour, Margot?
This one is 40 miles an hour,
Okay.
and National Weather Service report said that soon in the next 5 minutes it should be passing between Farmerville and Spencer, so heading towards Linville.
Okay, gotcha. So this is Point right here. We have Rocky Branch over here. All these areas are in that tornado polygon, and it's going to be headed close to Ladart Road, right here. All right, Louisiana 2, and then we also have a four-way loop right here. We have Ruggis Bluff Road right here, Foster Road right here, and this is that area of rotation that we have on radar just to the south and east